All right, so today we're going to be changing one of these things. This, particularly all nice and wrapped, is a engine mount for my 1999 Mazda Protege lesson car. This repair goes out to a student of mine that pressured me into doing this. Thank you. She needs this engine mount desperately. Sad part is I changed this engine mount about 2-3 years ago, and it's already dead again. I saw that recently when I was doing a transmission oil change. Engine mount itself is quite simple. We just have one bolt going through the middle. Usually when it gets worn out, this rubber part just breaks off, and then this is just wobbling around inside. I thought about reinforcing it, maybe putting in some polyurethane there, but I'm just gonna try this for now. We're gonna see how that goes. Overall, not a difficult job. I remember 3 years ago when I did this, I did it from the underside of the car. See if I can get away with that again. So there's a few different ways to do this job. The engine mount, the front engine mount, the one I was showing you, is located right here underneath this sort of like plenum for the air intake. It goes to the air box. Some folks, they like to be reasonable about this. They take it out. Previously when I did it, I didn't. I just got in underneath, jacked it up. Yeah, you can access all the bolts. There's only 3 bolts that you really want to get at. All right, so I was gonna start by just taking off this intake, which is really flimsy on here. This bolt, I'm almost positive it's seized. The guy over here, he's a little better. It's a 10 mil, of course. It really does open it up. All right, and we can actually see the engine mount from here, so let me give you a peek at that. Okay, so the other bolt is, I was sadly correct. It's one of those things that happened to be correct. It is just rusted in there. But we can just kind of wiggle the air box or the intake out like that. I don't want to sever that.
Amen.
All right, here we go. We have our rusty, crusty exhaust manifold, our O2 sensor. It looks like a cat over there. Don't hear it meow. And if we can see in here, that is the engine mount. This is a bracket coming off of the engine. Let's see if we can get a better view. So we're going after this guy. And yeah, we're going after this guy. There's this big beefy bolt hanging out on the side. So next what we gotta do is just jack the car up. All right, if we head to the underside of the car, we have this metal bar going supporting the engine. The engine is right here. Here's our big boy. Now if we see these 2 bolts, this is where our attention is heading. These are going to be the bolts for the engine mount. And then we only have one more bolt. Which is right there, right in that corner, that big guy. He goes right through the mount. And then this metal piece already goes to the engine. I'm gonna leave that undisturbed because he looks pretty happy in there. All right. God love this Impactor. All righty. So that is a little bit rusted, but those 2 guys are gone. That is nothing. Okay, so we could have removed this, but I don't like how rusted that screw is. I already have like a 6th sense for this. If I just pull the splash shield up, put on my 17 mil socket, that comes off effortlessly easy. There's the nut. Save this guy. We're going to need him. Time to get my mallet out, my trusty craft zone. I'm enjoying these guys. They have a lot of good tools for not a ridiculously high price. Boom. Just give that bolt a tap on the end. It still looks pretty solid. And just clean that thread up a little bit and for it to combine so my self does not lose it. Drum them up, and that came out a fair way. Okay, and that's it. He's out. Is the mount in question. He's a little bit tight in here, and that's not a big deal, but let me... There we go. So the mount was out, but this metal part, the bore, was still stuck in there. So I just found something that could fit inside it and give it a little pull. These guys are ready to clear it out. This is new guys going in. Oh yeah. All right, now if we take a look, this is the old one, this is the new one. The overall size matches up. We can see that it's just annihilated on either sides. It's not like free moving around. When I did this job 2 years ago, that engine mount was just like loosey-goosey in here. I could throw it on the floor and this metal part would fall out. This is not as bad, but this is still pretty bad. It's worn out. One thing I don't like is it looks like the rubber was actually thicker on this one than this one. So we're gonna see how this guy fares. I mean, to be honest, if I have to do a job again, it's gonna be the third time, so definitely be easier than that. Okay. It's a little bit of a tight space, but nothing really difficult about it. Once you have it finagled in there, just want to line it up. Boom, those guys are in. Okay. Now once we have that in, we see these studs poke through. Just gonna feed them on for now, hand tight. Oh yes, the lock nuts. Oh, beautiful, love that ratcheting noise. Just want to make sure we can also get this guy in here, no problem. Easy workaround if your car is cold, it's not hot. You can come in on the other side of this bar. No, we are gonna snug up one of these because if it pulls the, there we go. If it pulls the engine mount down a bit, it'll be more aligned. All right, so this is the bolt I fed him in. It was being rather difficult in the beginning because of this side lined up, this side did not, and this is where you want to feed from. So one trick I did is I got the screwdriver out. On this side, I already dipped into the mount halfway, and I was able to pressure it down and upwards. While with the other hand, I fed the bolt in. And that was one way to get him in. And then also, I see him pop out on the other side. Okay. Now, the bolt is square, so it depends how you position it, if you're going to get it through all the way. But really, we're just done. All that's left is put on the 17 mil here, torque everything down, and engine mount is done. So we just want to take thread this bolt on, point it on my handy dandy hammer, and then you just want to get yourself a 17 mil on it. While you do it, just make sure it lines up on the other side. There we go, 2 Huggy Tuggas. And good, got everything nice and tight, and that's it. Didn't really need the jack at all. Some other engine mounts, you do need them. I will be doing the right engine mount on this car also. The right engine mount goes over there on the passenger side. I bought it from Rock Auto and saw that they're missing the arm on it. Just a pain in the butt. You could have the old arm pressed out of the old engine mount and press in a new one, but no reason to do that. So just figuring that out with Rock Auto. Next we'll be having that engine mount being posted on how to replace it. Here we're going to see how the car feels. So the last thing to do is just turn it on, see if you feel any less vibration within the machine. Hopefully my students enjoy this. Okay, yeah, it definitely feels better. It is just, it's one of those things I don't expect to be like immediately noticeable, but it fairly is. Let's just give a couple of revs. What are we looking for? This is your engine. If you rev your engine, you have one of these throttles on here like this. You want to make sure it's not moving excessively, right? We could go crazy and do some theatrics, put a wine glass on there. Not sure how long it lasts, but excellent. I got it up to like 4, 5. It looks good. It's centered here. All right, so the actual engine mount is all taken care of. Last but not least, don't forget to put on the air box. Engine mounts go out. There's nothing unusual there. Usually it's recommended to change all of them at once. And because the running theory is that if one mount already is dilapidated, the rubber in it is dead, then probably the ones that were installed at the same time, also that material is worn out, dried, or dead. This car has 4 engine mounts. One here, one there, one in the back. The one in the back is a pain in the butt. I didn't want to do it. I would have to take off part of the, I think, exhaust system. Anyway, yeah, that one was a real pain. But this one is done. This guy on the side is next. Hopefully you found this helpful. Remember, don't be scared of a used car. It can take you far.